Nice 6. Let's do this thing. Aren't these peach blossoms beautiful? I believe we've returned to our homestead here in Central Virginia at the perfect time of year. After having spent our winter in the Philippines, we're back just in time for things to start blooming. Here's a pear tree. We got some buds that are going to be blooming soon. I'm in the fruit orchard. So for the last couple of days, haven't even been back a week yet, I've been kind of walking around the homestead, looking at things I need to do. I'm going to show you my first project up here. I'm going to start this morning. You're going to hear some traffic because I'm down close to the road, but it's not as bad as it was before we planted our privacy hedge. Look at this. We have entirely blocked the road. Now we have about 300 yards total worth of road frontage. But look at this. See these cedar trees? They are 15 to 20 feet tall now. We planted them between 6 and 8 years ago when we first bought this property to block the view and to diminish the noise to a degree. And now they're huge. These things were like 2 feet tall at most. We dug them up from our meadow as it began to reforest itself, transferred them down here. It was a lot of work. I mean, look at this. Beautiful. Yeah, there's our honeybees. We moved them out of sight of a toxic neighbor who poisoned them a couple years ago. You used to be able to see them from the road at a high point on our property, but he put some stuff in his fields while they were pollinating that they brought back, and we had a mass die-off. So we moved them to make it appear as if we don't have bees anymore, but we do. And they've prospered since then. This is actually the first time I showed a couple videos last year. But anyway, we have some hollies up here, and the deer have decimated them. They got them over the winter while we were gone, and I get it. It was probably the only thing left that was green. So I'm going to prune them down pretty much to the trunk of the trees, and then the spring flush will come out, and they'll look better than they ever did. But Defecto de Brujas, my Filipino grandfather's great Spanish grandfather's sword that he and my great times whatever 10 or whatever grandmother used to witch hunt, and that's what Detecto de Brujas means, witch hunter, witch detector. There's the house. Give you a good view of the property from way down here. We're usually way up there in the woods. It pointed something out to me while I was walking around the other day that is potentially a Bigfoot Sasquatch track. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to explain how it could potentially be a Bigfoot Sasquatch track. And it made me think of a story that my caretaker told me while I was in the Philippines this winter. He emailed a couple times, told me about an event that took place here and how he was trying to help actually find a lost woman, and how while he was doing that down here on our property, he saw something that he couldn't explain. So I'm going to tell you that story as I show you the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch track and the other things I'm going to be doing here. See what you think. Okay, so let me reverse the camera because we're close to where the track is and the hollies. Show you this first of all. This is a plum tree, a Virginia plum tree, and as you can tell, one of the bucks got this winter, scraping it up while he was in the rut, breaking off the branches, marking his territory. Again, I apologize for the traffic. This is the morning rush hour. I think all of 15 cars go by during the morning rush hour, but we have this row of plums. These are all going to be blossoming out here really soon. It's really pretty. I'll show you that when it happens here in a few weeks. But here's my holly trees. We got these, they were a foot tall our first winter here. They used to sell these at the grocery store during the Christmas season. And we got 11 of them. We basically bought every one they had. They sold them for $20 each, so we paid $220. These are just very few trees we actually bought. Most of our trees, like these cedars, go all the way down around. We dug them up from the meadow, like I said. Now these Leland cypresses, we bought these. They were 18 inches high. Now they're 18 feet high. We've built an amazing privacy hedge around the property. But so the deer got these. They're eating the leaves. Look at that. Zoom in on it. So I'm going to be pruning these back all the way so they'll take advantage of that spring flush and get nice and thick again. But defecto de brew house. Let me show you. I'm not making this up. Watch this. Watch this. Ready? Here, I just hold it limply, moving it around. And I mean, look at that. It freaking threw itself at it. So notice this. Something or someone, because here's the dirt from here, they either slid down or were running up on this bank, and there are no noticeable, listen, if this was a deer, you would see the markings of the cloven hoof. If it were a bear, you would see, because listen, let me put my foot here. Look at that. It's bigger than my foot. Okay, now if it were a human, they would either be wearing a boot or a shoe, but there's no tread from a boot or a shoe. So folks, this is potentially a Bigfoot Sasquatch track. Potentially a Bigfoot Sasquatch track. And I have reason to believe it may be, because according to the story I was told, see this, they just ate all this stuff up. I'll show you this. This stuff hasn't come out in bloom yet. But we planted all this. These are burning bushes. Some people call them Virginia burning bushes. We bought these online our first winter here. They were about a foot tall, and they were only one stick. They were one stick with roots. We planted them. Now this one's about 5.5 feet tall. They go all the way down. They are beautiful, especially in the fall when the leaves turn crimson red. This is just amazing what we've done here. And it's so nice coming back to see it. But yeah, we put the hollies all the way down to here, so they block the view of from our driveway. But privet bush. Look at this. Shoot, 15 feet high. We planted these when they were about this tall. Dug them up from the tree line. Maple. They haven't done too well. Eastern redbud. This is going to have a very beautiful purple periwinkle colored bloom on it here in just a couple of weeks. You can see the little buds already coming out. Planted them all. Everything you see here, we dug up from the tree line, transferred it. It took us between 2 and 3 years to complete it. Look at this cherry tree. Oh my goodness. That sucker is 25 feet tall. When we planted it, it was literally 1.5 feet tall. Poplar trees, same thing. We've got a row of, what is this? Eastern red cedars with 2 rows of Leland cypresses in front of that. Again, we bought the Leland cypresses. They were 18 inches tall. I think we got them for $20 each on Walmart.com, not sponsored. But everything else, that's a locust that was growing over here beside the fence by the driveway, and it was such a pretty tree, I didn't want to just cut it down or kill it, so I'll put it right here. They're good for pollinators. They have a beautiful white blossom that comes out in July, so it's a late season pollination feeder for the pollinators. Mulberry tree, it does produce berries, but just everything. There's an oak. Little cherry tree started coming up here, so I put a guard around it to keep the critters off of it. What was that? Maple. The maples are starting to bud. We call this our man-made forest because we made it. And as you can hear the cars going by, there's a couple places that if you're down here, you can still see the cars through the hedge. But once these leaves are all on, you can't see them from the house. And it does reduce the noise. There's a beautiful poplar tree. I'm telling you, these things, nothing. Look at this. What's this? Another locust? 12 to 15 feet tall. Nothing down here was more than 2 feet tall when we planted it. It's really amazing. So we're getting up here close to the, oh, look at that. Look at this cedar. These cedars were 1.5 feet tall. Now this one's 12, 15 feet tall. We planted another row of cedars up here to help fill in those gaps down here. Gosh, and now we just sit back and watch them grow. It's amazing. I relate trees to real estate. Just like you don't wait to buy real estate, you buy real estate and wait. With trees, you don't wait to plant your trees. You plant trees and then you wait. And you just sit back and watch them. You see this beautiful autumn olive down here? It's already starting to bud out and bloom. I know you're screaming, this is supposed to be about Bigfoot Sasquatch. It's going to be here in a minute. I got this. Look at this. It's coming into bloom. Has these beautiful little red berries on them. We don't eat them. I didn't know you could. Somebody said in the comments section you can actually make jam out of it, but I know the birds eat it. So this was actually in the ditch line that the state goes through and mows like every other month in the summer, but down on the other side. I keep this one taken care of, but the other one is deep and steep, and so I would never go in there. But I was down there 3 years ago this time of year, and I saw that they had continually cut this thing down to the nub. It was only about, every time it would get up to about 10 inches tall, the state would come through and cut it as they were clearing the right of way. However, they never killed it, and the root system was probably 8 or 10 years old. So I dug up the root system, put it here. That would have been 2 years ago, and only 2 years, because the root system was so strong. It's already 10 feet high, and very healthy, successful plant. Here we got a deer trail. See the deer come through here, go through there. All right, so let's get to the story you all came to hear. All right, now listen, as I walk and talk, you listen to what I say, but you watch in the background. You watch for him, her, it, or they, okay? And I'm going to have my Detecto de Brewhouse with me, just holding it limply in my hand. Brewhouse and I might give it the nickname Brewhouse, like a brewery, because that's what it sounds like to me. Remember, Detecto Brewhouse is Spanish for witch detector. But of course, it detects more than just witches. It detects all things paranormal, supernatural, cryptozoological. So we're kind of forming a bond. It trusts me, starting to trust me more. I mean, it yanked itself out of my hand down there. But we're starting to develop a relationship. So I'm just going to keep it limp like this. So we have like a second set of eyes, as it were, a third set, mine, yours, and its. So here's what's going on. So I got an email over the winter while we were in the Philippines that I'd missed the excitement, or I'd missed some drama. And it was a real world issue. And Oh, I know what's going on here. There's a graveyard right back there. There's 3 little girls that died in our house during the Spanish flu of 1918. Come on. They're benevolent. See that? Detecto de Brewhouse sees that. See, side to side means it's benevolent. It's not harmful. All right, come on. They were the spirits of little girls. Let's go. Had a lot of activity up here, if you remember those videos about the balls, the disappearing and reappearing balls. Oh, man, the deer. I planted these white pines 3 years ago. They got them too. These are very prolific, though. They'll come back. I have a whole row of them. I planted a whole row of these white pines here. The property line's actually in this thicket, but I wanted another sort of barrier of evergreen, because right here, all these that we planted here going all the way down, these are those eastern red buds. It has that really beautiful periwinkle colored bloom in the spring. So I wanted the green of the white pine in the backdrop with the purple in the forefront. I landscaped this property as if it were like a painting. Everything had a lot of thought put into it. All right, so anyway, and these trees, you can buy them here in Virginia. At least you go to the Virginia Department of Forestry, I think. You can buy these for $1 each. So I bought 100 of them for $100, and I just went around one morning, started around 8 or 9 in the morning, and by noon I'd planted all 100 of them all the way around the property. So a lot of work early on, goes a long way later on. I envisioned this place as how I wanted it to be when I was retired, and I was 45 when I bought it, so I knew I needed to get on the ball. I was 42. I've had it for 8 years. Yeah, I'm 50 now, so it was 8 years ago. I was 42. I figured, how do I want this place to look in 20 years? Because that's about how long it's going to take any tree to mature. And so I got to it. I just got to it. So the drama was this. A woman in her mid to late 70s that lives in our area had gone out for a walk one day, and she didn't come back. So her family reported her missing. And so it was like 3:30 in the morning, and my friend and neighbor, who lives back there in the woods behind us, way back there, it says like this bright light just comes shining through his bedroom window. And they're on top of the mountain, and they've got a beautiful clearing. They cleared out the forest where they put their house. and they left the rest of their very large property, I think 28 acres, forested. And it was coming from a helicopter. So here's this helicopter just hovering over their house, shining its light, this big beam light into the window. Well, his first thought was there was an escaped convict. Maybe a murderer was on the loose, because there are a couple of prisons not too far away from us. They're not that close, but they're not too far away. So he gets up, he loads his crayon, but shortly after the helicopter left, I think he said it was the Virginia State Police, knocked on his door. Now you watch very closely through here, because this is where he saw what he saw. We're getting ready to walk through here. Turns out they were looking for this woman, this lost woman, and she'd just gone out to walk the dog, go for her daily walk, and she never came home. So, wait, I'm forgetting my own routine. I can't look back there. You guys got to look. The Brujas got to look. What was that? What in the actual heck was that? It's coming from up there. Calm down. You know what? I'm going to have to sheath it, because I'm afraid that... Look at this. This bathrobe that I have received complaints online already for making videos in my bathrobe. Look, here's another deer trail going through here. I'm told that this is distasteful to be a half-naked man making videos. I'm comfortable, brah. I'm on my property. So anyway, and it's morning. I'm always in my bathrobe until I'm not. So the state police said this woman's missing. Have you seen anything? No. And they said, okay, we're not going to go onto any private property without permission. But could you look around? Do you know anybody that could help? And he explained to them, wow, there's a heck of a deer trail. I don't know if you can see it from this angle, but it goes right through there. And he explained to them that he was keeping an eye on our property because we were in Southeast Asia for the winter. And he said he would come down here and look around, see if he could find anything. So he came down early the next morning, and he was walking right through here. I couldn't have timed this little trek more perfectly. And to those of you who hung on through the tree display, thank you for still being here. I know I can get kind of long-winded, and I haven't been speaking a lot of English lately. Historia ko Visayan lang. That means I've been only speaking Visayan, the language of the southern Philippines. So it's like a long-lost friend. I'm literally hearing something run in the woods right now where the brew house was just pointing where we heard that thunderous roar. I'm going to reverse the camera so I can zoom if we come up on anything, and I'm going to continue to tell the story. All right, so here's our main trail that goes up to our campground. So he was walking through here. Now, mind you, it was January, so the leaves were off. And he was looking around everywhere. He was looking this way. He was looking that way. And when he got up here, he said it was just before I cut my new trail. So I'm going to show you this. I can see it here through the woods, but it comes out up here. I actually cut a couple of new trails through here last year because this used to be a meadow. You see these trees? These are poplars. They're 20 feet tall. Got some pines and cedars. This all used to be a hayfield. If you're new to the channel, this entire 6 acres was hayfield. Isn't that a beautiful sunrise? So we landscaped that, kept the large part as our yard, and this back here we're letting reforest because I want to have my own little forest. This is about 2.5 acres. We're allowing to reforest, and it's already done wonderful things for the wildlife. The deer have their babies in here. So anyway, here's where the trail I cut in was, okay? So I made this trail, and it goes up, goes down through the meadow, and then goes up to our top trail that we have up there. He says he got just before the trail started, and he looked up here, and he saw what he thought was a bear. Now, he said that, oh, wow, I just got lightheaded for some reason. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Maybe that's it. I've had my coffee, but no breakfast. So he says he gets here, he looks up, and he saw what he thought was a bear standing on its hind legs, because whatever it was that he saw was about 8 feet tall. Now, it was still it wasn't full daylight like this yet. The sun had not come up over the horizon, so it was still kind of like the pre-dawn hours. And so he stopped, and thinking it was a bear, he wanted to make sure that bear saw him and knew he was here before he got any closer. So he says, "Hey," like that, but real loud. I just don't want to yell right now. He yelled. So he says the thing turned, and it didn't drop down as if to get on all fours and walk away or run away. He says it just turned and then just slowly ambled away. And he said what was even stranger than that, because, he's heard of bears walking on their hind legs, and we've all seen those videos on social media where somebody records a black bear walking down their street on its hind legs, looking in the trash bins. He says what was stranger than that, though, was that it didn't make any sound as it went. Oh my gosh, I just got lightheaded again. What's going on here? Guys, I think we got something new in this area. Years ago, if you've been following for a long time, they used to flash me with like some sort of ray, and it would make me lightheaded. But then once we got on good terms, it stopped. It hasn't happened for a couple of years, but I kind of feel like that's happening again. Are you guys noticing any flashes or anything like that in the video? So anyway, he says it walked through there without making a sound. And he couldn't figure out how it did that, because as you can tell, it's thick in there. Now, it's clear where I cleared it, but the rest is a thicket. I mean, it's just, he just couldn't figure out how anything could walk through there without making a sound. But whatever that was, it did. So we're at the campground. I'll go up here, give you a view of the place from the high ground. There goes another deer trail. Let's see. I'm looking around. So we had a big limb fall off this big oak tree up here. This is the oak tree, by the way, where old Jim Brown, remember our guy from the Halloween Night Tales? This is a tree where Jim Brown was hanged, 120, 130 years ago. Okay, so that thing we heard, oh my gosh, I just got like a pinging headache. Guys, I'm not gonna be able to stay up here long. I need to go eat. I think I have low blood sugar or something like that. So he said the thing walked through the woods without making a sound. He came up the trail just like we did. Let me give you the view of look at this. Isn't this beautiful? You have no idea how grateful I am to be back on our Central Virginia homestead. The air is clean, it's clear, it's not filled with pollutants. There's not people everywhere. Well, I've been the last 6 months. If you were to stare out across this much space, you'd see 4,000 to 5,000 people. What was that? There's something up here, guys. It's time to unsheath the beast. Use Defecto de Brewhouse. How about Dr. Brewhouse? Oh my gosh, I got that thing again. Guys, we're on to something here. We're close. By the way, the day after the woman went missing, the authorities did find her. She was in the woods. They found her with dogs. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? That was a tree knock. We just heard a tree knock. So she was fine. She was healthy. She wasn't injured. Oh my gosh. I just heard a tree knock and got another flash. Guys, I think there's something up here that doesn't want us. It doesn't want us here. If you enjoyed this video, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go eat breakfast. But my neighbor, I gotta finish his story. Let me resheath the beast. Trust me, beast. Trust me. Get back in my half-naked robe. Something up here doesn't want us here. So, about a week later, my neighbor was back just walking the property, making sure nothing was, out of place. Nobody was coming around. It was hunting season. He wanted to make sure hunters weren't poaching. And he said that he saw the same thing in the same place. He said at that time he still wasn't sure what it was, but he was convinced it wasn't a bear. So folks, we're still settling back into our, I'm gonna see if I can get up here. We're still settling back into our lives here on our homestead in Virginia, still adjusting to the 13-hour time difference. The daylight savings time helped because now it's only 12-hour difference. But soon, very, very soon, we're going to be venturing out into these potential Bigfoot Sasquatch woods. And we're going to see if we can find that which my neighbor saw twice this winter. That which walked through this thicket without making a sound. Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh my gosh. Mysterious creature screams from the forest. Guys, this is enough. I gotta get out of here. See you for more next time for the most awesomest homesteading channel on the entire internet that has nothing to do with homesteading. Homesteading off the grid.